All right, here we go. Greatest NHL player to wear number 17 per the Hockey Writers' greatest NHL player to wear each number article is Jari Kurri. What do we got here? Runners up. I forgot who they were. Rod Brindamore, Wendell Clark, and Ilya Kovalchuk. So
it's a pretty good list.
Pretty good list. I think Curry's the rightful owner of number 17. Oh, you brought up my picture. No, I was wondering what I was doing wrong. I couldn't get the picture to show up, and then I just realized what I did wrong.
Okay.
All right. So, anyways, great picture.
17. I got your back, Troy.
Yeah, you got my back. 17, right? Prominent on his arm there. I love it. Old school stuff. Co-host stick. Great picture. All right. Kurri, right winger from Helsinki, Finland. Josh, I've been to Helsinki, Finland. I know you're missing out on where I've been in the world, but been to Helsinki.
Did you play hockey there too?
I did not play hockey. No, did we play hockey there? Yeah, we played hockey there. Did play hockey there for a little bit.
Okay.
All right. Kurri was the 69th overall draft pick in the 1980 NHL entry draft by the Edmonton Oilers. Kurri is considered one of the absolute greatest steals in NHL draft history. In 1979, the Oilers played the Finnish national team, which Kurri was a part of, as the Oilers needed one game to get to 80 games for their WHA season. Could you imagine that now in the NHL, Josh? It's like, oh, we need a game. Let's get the Russians over here. We're just going to play some international team and count it. It's kind of funny.
I guess we'll play Guatemala.
Yeah, play a team we're going to stomp. So they got this 80th game. Kurri's on Team Finland. They play the Oilers. Kurri impressed Edmonton management during the game. When Kurri became draft eligible, there was rumors, or NHL teams, most of them, I think almost all of them, passed on him because they thought he still had military obligations he had to fulfill in Finland. Because Scandinavian countries, at least last time I checked, once you turn 18, you got to fulfill, I don't know what it is, a year, 18 months military commitment. However, the Oilers were in discreet talks with the Finnish government and were able to find out that Kurri had already fulfilled his military obligations. Therefore, they were able to wait until the 4th round to draft him. I guess we can say good work by the Edmonton front office. I wonder if that ever happened today. Like, can you go call the government and ask, hey, this player, does he already do his military stuff? They'd probably go little privacy concerns.
We've had lots of stories like this.
Yeah.
We had Steve Yzerman and a mustache or something like that, scouting people before. And I love sort of the secret agent man, NHL scouting stories. Those are kind of fun.
Well, it shows you how far they will go and what the work they'll do to figure stuff out. I love it. All right. Kurri played in 1,251 regular season NHL games over a 17-season NHL career. Kurri began his NHL career playing 10 seasons for the Edmonton Oilers. He then played 4 full seasons with the LA Kings before being traded in his 5th season with LA to the New York Rangers, where he would play only 15 regular season games. He then played 1 season for the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim, and then ended his career with 1 season with the Colorado Avalanche.
Okay, so I'm going to admit my memory is really fuzzy around this.
Yep.
So when he goes to LA and then to New York, did he just follow Wayne Gretzky around? Is that what happened?
I don't know. I don't know if they played at the same time. I don't think they did in New York.
Okay.
If I remember right, but I have terrible memory.
Yeah.
But I don't remember reading anything about it that he played with Gretzky in New York.
It's something for us to look up later.
Yeah, something for us to look up later. All right, for Kurri's awards and accomplishments, he is a Hall of Famer, 5-time Stanley Cup winner, 1-time NHL goal scoring leader in 1984-85, 1-time Lady Byng, 2-time NHL first All-Star team selection, 3-time second All-Star team selection, 9-time NHL All-Star game selection, named one of the 100 greatest NHL players by NHL.com, ranked number 39 in the Athletics' top NHL players in the post-expansion era. His number 17 is retired by the Edmonton Oilers. Over his regular season NHL career, Kurri had 601 goals, which puts him 20th all-time, 797 assists, which is 33rd all-time, for 1,398 points, which puts him 23rd all-time. Kurri made the playoffs in 15 of his 17 NHL seasons, compiling 106 goals, which is third all-time, 127 assists, which is eighth all-time, for 233 points, which is third all-time, in 200 NHL playoff games played.
That's pretty good. More than a point per game in the playoffs.
Yeah, pretty good. We'll get some more playoff fun stuff later on that I didn't even know, and I was kind of blown away. I didn't realize. I mean, I always knew he was good, one of the best ever, but he was really good. Kurri scored 60 or more points in 13 of his 17 NHL seasons, with those 13 seasons being in a row. In addition, of those 13 seasons, Kurri had 6 seasons of 102 or more points. Of those 6 seasons of 102 or more points, 5 of them were in a row. Kurri scored 20 or more goals in 13 consecutive seasons. 4 of those seasons, Kurri scored 50 or more goals. Again, all in a row. It's like He liked to do stuff. He had to go big right in a row. It's pretty fascinating. Best season of his NHL career from a point standpoint was his 1984-85 season, where Kurri had 71 goals, 64 assists for 135 points in 73 games played. All right, Josh. So I actually went and found a second picture of Kurri because I like this one so much.
Yeah.
All right, so just give a little rub about Kurri. He was absolute part of some absolutely dominant Edmonton Oilers teams. After joining Edmonton, he was almost immediately paired with Wayne Gretzky, and the two became one of the absolute best duos in NHL history. Now, they played together on the same line a lot, but sometimes they didn't. But here's kind of an interesting stat I found. Gretzky assisted on 364 of Kurri's 601 career goals. Kurri had an assist on 196 of Gretzky's goals.
Okay.
So that's pretty crazy. I didn't realize Gretzky assisted on over half of Kurri's goals, but makes sense.
Can I make a comment about that, though?
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people say, and I've been waiting to jump in with this point for a minute or two, that he's one of those guys that when you try to say that they're great, it's like, well, he played with Gretzky. Kind of like the whole Draisaitl thing, right?
Yeah, I would never say that.
You hear with Marner, and the point I would make is we've seen at a very poor man's level, our guy Kaprizov, lose on about 600 assists in the past 3 years because nobody on our team can. I mean, he puts the puck right on their stick, and they just like whiff, or they can't catch the pass or do whatever. So at the very least, right, he was good enough of a player to bury the goal 364 times from Gretzky. And I just think that gets like diminished by people at times. And I'll be honest, I kind of find that annoying.
Wait till we get to fun facts. I actually bring up a point exactly to what you're talking about.
Great. Can't wait.
Kurri himself was the absolute complete NHL player. He could score, make skill plays, pile up assists, and was a fantastic defensive forward. In fact, the term 200-foot game was first brought up usually when they talked about Kurri. I was reading an article where this sports writer said that 200-foot game term never really was used a lot until Jari Kurri started playing. And he was just an absolute beast, up and down the ice, defensive forward. He was every interview that I read on him, they all said how much of a stud he was on the defensive end of the game. Also, I think it was every front office staff member I read to, and like coach, or even Gretzky himself, said he was just amazing, an amazing player defensively and offensively. After his career, so this is in 2019, Kurri became the general manager and owner of, I think it's called Jokerit Finnish hockey team. So it's a Finnish pro team that he actually played for when he was younger. I couldn't figure out if he still was the GM or owner. I went to the team's official website and it was all in Finnish, Finnish. But I used Google Translate, but I couldn't find anything that said he was still there. But I never found anything that he wasn't still there. So I'm going to assume he's still GM, part owner, or full owner of Jokerit.
If you were really committed to our show, you would have learned to speak Finnish, translated the website so that our listeners would know if he's still the general manager or owner.
Yeah, I could have just called Pekka and asked him.
Yeah, I suppose. Your guy Pekka.
So again, Kurri, fantastic player, but we're all here for the fun and interesting facts. These get awesome. There's some really good ones. So why did Kurri wear number 17? No one knows. He's never said. There is speculation, though, that he wears it because Finland became an independent nation in 1917, but Kurri has never confirmed that. I don't know why. No one's ever really asked him. I would love to see if that's the real reason, but that's the speculation.
Yeah.
Nickname, the Finnish Flash. All right, Josh, he was the original before some guy named Teemu Selanne got that moniker. So Teemu was also the Finnish Flash, but Kurri was the original. It seems like a really easy name to name a Finnish guy the Finnish Flash.
Do you think Timo has to pay him royalties when somebody calls him the Finnish Flash?
I don't know. I think Timo maybe has taken. I don't know. Has Timo taken the nickname after he scored 86 goals as a rookie? Maybe he gets.
Kurri was better than Teemu Selanne, wasn't he?
Oh, geez, different eras, but I don't know. I would personally, I like Kurri better because that's who I grew up with.
Yeah, fair enough.
While linked with Wayne Gretzky, here's my one I was going to bring up, or when you're talking about the linkage. While linked with Gretzky, it's interesting to note that Kurri had 195 points in 154 games in Edmonton after Gretzky was traded. So he wasn't a slouch.
That's because, Troy, the other teams thought Wayne Gretzky was still there. Therefore, making it easier for Kurri to score. And that's the only reason why he scored that many points.
Yeah, Messier. Messier was there. I don't know if they played on the same line, but I think Messier was still there for a little bit. In the 1984-85 season, Kurri scored 50 goals in his first 50 games, but missed out on scoring in Edmonton's first 50 games by 3 games. He actually did it in Edmonton's 53rd game, so he couldn't claim the 50 goals in 50 games. Here's a great one. In the 1985 Stanley Cup playoffs, Kurri scored 19 goals, which ties him for first all-time in goals in a playoff year with Reggie Leach of the Flyers. Kurri's 19 goals included 4 hat tricks, which still stands as the most hat tricks in a playoff year.
We were referencing that in this playoffs for who? Oh, it was Draisaitl, right? Because he had 12 or 14 goals in round 2, but of course they never make it further than that.
He could have blown that away maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Kurri missed the 1990-91 season as his contract expired with the Oilers, but the Oilers still held his rights. Instead of signing a new contract with Edmonton, Kurri decided to play a season in Italy with Devils Milano. Interesting note here, after his season in Italy, his rights were traded to the Philadelphia Flyers. However, the Flyers traded him immediately the same day to the LA Kings. So what could it have been for our Philadelphia friends? Could have had Kurri, but they got rid of him right away. According to Wayne Gretzky, Kurri learned English by watching Happy Days. I thought that was funny. And if our younger listeners, Happy Days was a show about the 50s that was on, and I don't even know what era it was on, but it was about the 50s.
Oh, 80 show, wasn't it?
Well, it was 80. I have no clue.
70 show, maybe. Yeah, it was like Laverne and Shirley era, right? In Happy Days.
At the time Kurri retired, he was the highest scoring forward who had been born and trained in Europe. However, Teemu Selanne and Jaromir Jagr have eventually passed him. Okay. And I think that was scoring. I think Lidstrom actually passed him on assists too. But fantastic player, lots of records. It was awesome reading about him. I didn't put this in there, but they retired his jersey and they brought him back to Edmonton. And I guess it was just craziness. Like everyone was out to see him. You could stop in the streets. They had the Route 17 bus drivers all had big 17 lapels or pins on their lapels. It was pretty interesting to read about. All right. Jari's rookie card, 1981-82 OPC number 107. If you're watching on YouTube, got it up on the screen. PSA 10 has a pop of 32 with a gem rate of 3%. Last sale I could find was on June 11th of this year via PWCC for $2,010 US. I do remember that card being for sale on PWCC. I don't know if we might have looked at it. I can't remember if we did or not.
Yeah, I think we did look at that.
I think we did too. Highest sale I could find on this OPC PSA 10 was on October 27th of 2021 via PWCC for $3,700 US. But Josh, that's not all. Again, there's also a Topps version of this card.
But there's more.
We have the little dual OPC Topps thing. If you're watching YouTube, I show a picture. The picture's not as good as the OPC one, but it's there. PSA 10 pop on the Topps version of his rookie card is 179 with a gem rate of 10%. Last sale I could find on the PSA 10 Topps version was on April 9th of 2023 via PWCC for $312 US. That seems so stinking low. And maybe I totally whiffed and missed, but I swear I kept looking that up.
That's now, like 7x less than the OPG.
Yeah, so I might have to look that up again and make sure I didn't get that wrong.
But it is pop 32 versus 179.
Yeah, true. Well, here's the crazy thing. Listen to this next one. Highest sale I could find of that Topps PSA 10 was via PWCC on February 17th of 2021 for $2,500 US. It's crazy what COVID did to this market.
Oh, I've got some other examples when we do our PWCC preview of that. But it does look like, though, that Gongshow partner PWCC does have a corner on the Jari Kurri market. It's
it
like
does.
All the sales are from PWCC.
Those don't come off too often.
All right, Jari Kurri, another one in the books. Right. Another good one, Troy. Fun to learn about these guys. Yeah. The OG Finnish Flash, Jari Kurri.